Claire Wineland was an American blogger and author activist. Through its not-profit organization, Claire Place Foundation, it supported and organized people with terminal chronic diseases and their families.
Meaning it ends in death. And it is also progressive, meaning that as you get older, it gets worse. Someone explained it to me a while ago. Imagine climbing a mountain and there's a giant snowball.
Wineland wrote the book Every Break I Take, Survive and Treat with Cystic Fibrosis. Wineland was born with cystic fibrosis in Austin, Texas. At the age of 13, her lung failings, and she was placed in an induced coma for medical reasons. He was given a 1% a chance of survival, and woke up after 16 days.
That's pretty much what having this, because every year it gets harder and harder for you alive.
She founded an organization to support families affected by terminal illness, especially cystic fibrosis.
So how do you deal with that? And that's something I wish I had an answer for everyone, but I'm still trying to deal with that. Someone asked me what I was gonna do after school and all this, and I was getting really into these stuff that I was doing with my life and things I was really excited about. And then my friend Revere goes, "Wait, aren't you supposed to die in a few months?" It's like, oh.
The reason why I want to talk about it is because in the world there's a very few people that are really worth knowing. When I learned about it, I moved and felt me and great enthusiasm and strength. Claire was a person who valued her life and gave her great use. She helped many families with sick children being disability, help for sick people not only of cystic fibrosis, but also of terminal illness.
Over here you have my piano for when I want to jam out and annoy all the nurses. I got my twinkle lights and my beautiful planets on the wall here. And I just totally forgot to paint Mars. So the science
with his way of speaking and winsome to say a thing about our life is somewhat curious.
Just collage. You have pictures of my family and me. And then here you have my lovely meditation guru with all the chakras. Someone got that for me in Tibet. So if you look, I have all of the actual life support. This is the ventilation bags.
To the point of Land Without Death, it is something exciting how he gave advice on how to take a line whether you are a relative, and not say it in a negative way. No dude, she's a heroine. That, in my opinion, needs to be known and thus set an example to his world and make a change and understand people much better. Thanks to her, a foundation was created, and that is not looking for profit, to help and encourage people with this disease.
Oh, you haven't seen half of it.
That is very common and lived with many people from an early age. It's also had a YouTube channel called The Creative Project. It's a website with a series of educational videos and blogs hosted on YouTube, with a way to inspire and educate others about living with a terminal illness.
So pretty much, I'm getting new lungs, and it's very exciting and also completely terrifying, but exciting. I've always lived with this weird sort of breaking the glass ceiling of my own existence kind of situation, and
according to the website, Wineland's activists aim to shed some light on what it really is to be sick, and change the way to see the disease and those who live with it.
I'm not getting these lungs just to be healthy. I don't care about that. I'm getting these lungs so that I can
Claire Place Foundation is a non-profit organization that provides support to children and families affected by cystic fibrosis. The Claire Place Foundation is named in honor of Claire Wineland. Now, a teenager who has been living with a cystic fibrosis all her life, the foundation provides grants to families affected by cystic fibrosis, offering emotional and financial support. The Claire's Place Foundation is a way Claire can return with a hope, strength and joy, and make sense of what had to happen. The goal of this foundation is your mission to raise public awareness about cystic fibrosis and improve the quality of life here of the families affected through the provision of education, life skill, inspiration, and positive support.
We assumed everything was fine.
And then 2 days later, my lungs went into full-on lung failure, and I couldn't breathe, and I didn't know why I couldn't breathe. And there's a part of my brain that was like, oh, I'm dying. It was such a strange realization to me because I'd always been told that that was going to happen. And the moments it's happening, you're like, oh, well, that was fast. Like, oh, that was weird. Like, okay. Then, later,
Its vision is to provide emotional and financial support to the families living with cystic fibrosis.
Next thing you know, we were in
And your mission is the specific purpose of the Claire Foundation is to provide heartfelt help to children and youth adults diagnosed with cystic fibrosis as well and their families in order to improve the quality of life. And the achieves this by raising awareness and providing education, skill, financial, and emotional support.
Children with cystic fibrosis with this intense lung damage don't make it off of an oscillator.
When they put me on the oscillator, it was kind of like, well, no one has ever come off of this alive before, so, you're not going to be like, this is kind of it.
And I didn't think I was gonna get to see her again. So I kept talking to her, and I remember right before they intubated her, she looked at me. She was like, what is going on? Because she was just so confused. And I said, you're really sick, but they're gonna try and make you better, and you have to just relax and trust.
To conclude with this little demonstration, on August 26 of 2018, WINELAND underwent a double lung transplant. Shortly after surgery, she had a stroke due to a blood clot, and she died at 21 years on September of 2018, and her organs were donated to needy.
Thank you, Rosalind, for designing. And here we go. Ready? It's a butterfly cake. Yes. Oh, these scissors don't cut. Because they're kids' scissors. We gotta. Oh. They're kids' scissors. Wait a minute, I really can't cut it. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's open.
So I'm gonna start with a story. There I was in my hospital room, and I was feeling so separate from the world, so separate from humanity. I felt like I was in this bubble, like I could never live a normal life. But I looked around the room and realized, hey, I got 4 walls, I got a window, I got a bed, I have a bedside table. Why don't I try and decorate this? Why don't I try to make this feel like home?
Come on in. Claire spoke at our all hands meeting about 2 years ago. And after watching her talk, we were really inspired by her and her vision.
She really wanted to go ahead and find a way to leave her footprint in Vegas. So we paired up with UMC Hospital.
And so her vision was to help decorate a room in a children's hospital so that she could bring that same joy to other kids.
Our hopes is to continue this vision and to work with Claire's Foundation. I mean, it took so much work from everybody. We're so very grateful.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. And I decked out my hospital room. And I don't mean just a little bit. I mean, like, I had IVs in my arm, tubes on my face, like my heart rate going crazy, and I was like pushing the bed up against the wall and like dragging the chair and making a day bed. And once it was done, people from all over the hospital came to see it.
It's so beautiful. Live a life you were proud of.
It's really beautiful. Think about it, when you're sick, all you're told is that, yeah, just wait till you're healthy and then you can live your life. What happens when you're never going to be healthy? What happens when you're always going to be sick? When all you have is that hospital room?
We were inspired by what she was saying about hospital rooms and how they make an impact on patients. And she gave a message that really not only impacted me, but I think impacted the whole Zappos community.
Claire was only 21 when she passed away, and at Claire's memorial service, one of the speakers, she said, they say it takes a village to raise a child, but for Claire, it was the opposite. Claire was a child that not only raised a village, but she also raised a consciousness.
Thank you. How's the look of the dress? Thank you so much.
Being scared is okay, because being scared means you're about to do something really, really brave. Oh, that's so cool.
This
playroom for her was a safe space for kids to come and be creative, feel protected and excited about the hospital. She never viewed the hospital as such a horrible, horrible place.
I wonder, why isn't this normal? Why don't we do this to all of our hospital rooms?
It's been an incredible journey, an inspiring journey to help bring this forward and to really bring part of Claire into these rooms.
Because she would be so excited that it was here. And not excited for herself, like, oh, you got my design right, but excited for the other kids. I think it's not the end of, oh, the room's ready. It's what it's going to mean to other kids. I think that's what Claire would care about.
What if the hospital is just a room? And remember, kids, don't let your oxygen stop you from being the rough and tumble man you are inside. Stash it. And it is up to us to choose what we do with it. Because I was not given a New York loft apartment. I was not given possibility to get whatever house I want. I had a hospital room. And I figured out how to make it home.
Claire's place! I want to play here. I want to come here and play. I see so much of Claire here. I love it from the skylights, where you're looking out the window, kind of bring the outside in. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that Zappos for Good did for the community and for this hospital.
We made her dream come true, and yes, her enthusiastic spirit and her upbeat attitude all the time, I think she taught us all a lot.
So we all get to look at our hospital rooms. We all get to look at the places in our lives that we're not proud of, the places in our lives we want to run from and reject, and just wait till we get healthy, wait till we get better, wait till we get richer. We can look at that. We can accept it. We can take pride in it.
She was such an inspiration, and she was an angel. And like I said, we're all better for knowing her.
I wish she was here. I wish she was able to see this, but I know that she's here in spirit.
And I know for years to come, the kids are always going to be very grateful for what Claire did for them.
For me, it's bittersweet. I'm sorry that Claire didn't get to be here to see it. Some of you know the story a little bit, that the last year of her life, she had to, put everything on the back burner and focus on her health. So we were going to surprise her with this. We were continuing to work on it. And after the transplant, we were going to surprise her with it. So I'm hoping she's here in spirit. I'm sure she is. And I think she would be incredibly excited about the way it turned out. I think it would be a wonderful place for people to come, for children to come play and be creative and, feel a little piece of Claire. And the thing on the wall, the live a life you're proud of, I hope that it touches the children here in the hospital.
Live a life you are proud of.
They're bigger than their illness, that they can go out in the world and do things like she did. She always said, don't let it stop you. So I love that.
Take pride in our experience. I'm so proud of what I've learned. I'm proud that I was never allowed to run away from dying.
Claire was a person who contributed a lot of this society. She was a strong person, capable of doing a million other things. I appreciate her great health and that of her family, and all those people who support people with illness every day. Thank you, Claire, for your great help to the rest of humanity.